What's up? What's up, my BK riders? I'm gonna give it a few minutes for some of you guys to come in. We have a very special guest that we're gonna have showing up today, and we're gonna talk about D.E.W. Okay, D.E.W. is an acronym, and you guys are gonna be very, very surprised at what you see. I promise you, you're gonna be very surprised at what you see. Okay, so how are you guys' day today? I pray all is well. I pray all is well. Let's see. Okay, there we go. That's me that popped up. Yeah, I gotta change that picture. Everybody, I look hungry too. I look hungry too. Hey, Jackie. Hey. Thanks for coming over. We're gonna talk about D.E.W. I'm gonna tell you guys, there's a couple more people come in. I'm gonna tell you guys what the acronym is. I'm gonna show you a little short video. Let me show you some things. Okay, thanks for coming by. I definitely need a good moderator. I definitely need a good one. This is gonna be a short video. A short video, I tell you. Okay. I was over there on Sugar Love page. Man, I couldn't take it no more. I was so tired. Let me see comments right here. I'm still setting it up. I got the video I want everybody to watch right there. Let me see what my YouTube is. And it didn't come up yet. Okay. It will in a minute or so. Okay. Or don't catch the live. Oh, well. I'll fix it up later. Okay. Let's see. Waiting for 1 or 2 more people. Happy you on time. Thank you for being on time. Hey, Maria. Let's see. That food, I done ate enough. I've been gaining some weight over there on Miss on Tony channel. Gaining some weight over there. Okay. Let me prompt my phone because the lady just called me. I'm happy she did. I was like, oh man, I'm still stuck in another live. Give me 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes. I was over there begging for time. Let's see. How do I find her? I'll find myself first. Okay. We was over there all day. Okay, let me share real quick. Let me share myself. Okay, let me share real quick. Thank you for everybody coming in quick. Thank you for everybody coming in. Appreciate it. I'm sorry the food got y'all on, but it will be a different picture tomorrow. Okay. All right, you guys. So what I'm going to talk to you today about is D.E.W. And that's an acronym for Direct Energy Weapons. Okay, so I'm going to let you see these 2 little quick videos, and we're going to talk about it.
Of a weapon with no visible trace. A weapon that could knock out tanks, ships, and planes as fast as the speed of light. The same technology with modifications could disorient and even tranquilize military personnel, rendering them virtually helpless in the battle zone. These are the new weapons of war we will examine in this series. For the past 40 years, the world has been riveted by the threat of nuclear war, and more recently by the prospect of space defenses using lasers and other modern technologies. But while both sides at the Geneva summit will be focusing on these matters, progress is being made in even newer weapons that could render any arms agreement relatively useless. Lightning is the most dramatic form of energy to be found in nature. Scientists have succeeded in creating limited types of artificial lightning, and some think that these could be the forerunners of a new type of directed energy weapon, part of a family of weapons which operate within the radio frequency segment of the electromagnetic spectrum, and are thus referred to as radio frequency weapons. Dr. James Frazier has researched electromagnetic effects for the Air Force for over 10 years, and he, like a small but growing number of weapons experts, feels that radio frequency, or RF weapons, could be the wild card in the ongoing arms race.
You could have tremendous amounts of radiated power. And what you did with that power then is a matter of engineering design and what your goal is.
Robert Bass, a physicist and PhD in mathematics, is working on U.S. weapons research.
I'm just giving you guys a little bit of the history about it. Just a little bit of the history about the directed energy weapons. Then I have a special guest going to come up, and she's going to tell you how it affected her life. Okay?
He says that the Soviets seem to be ahead in a number of areas, and especially in RF weapons.
We are behind the Soviet Union in directed energy weapons based on 60 gigahertz microwave beams.
Dr. Bass and others feel a most likely form of Soviet RF weaponry would be high-powered microwaves, similar to a focused, ultra-high-intensity radar beam. It would literally cook humans and knock out computers and electronic surveillance and communications gear. An operational RF weapon, relatively cheap and reusable, could devastate sophisticated and expensive war machinery. The $20 million F-16 fighter, for example, is totally controlled through electronic sensors and computers. With no manual flight controls, the plane would literally fall out of the sky after being hit with a high-intensity pulse of microwave radiation. Scientists say that microwaves and other types of RF pulses operating at specific frequencies or windows can be transmitted with little or no loss of power. Machines known as gyrotrons can produce the massive pulses needed to drive these devices, and it's believed that the Soviet Union has a 3 to 5 year lead in this technology. Over the past year, CNN has repeatedly asked the Department of Defense and the Air Force about radio frequency weapons. After much resistance, D.E.W. finally said that the subject was too sensitive to discuss. In my next report, unexplained cloud-like phenomena which may be evidence of a Soviet breakthrough in RF technology. Chuck DeCaro, CNN Special Assignments.
Okay, so this is how they started it. Now here's the part 2 to it, and then we're going to talk about it.
This is a Tesla coil. It
Tesla,
was invented some
okay.
90 years ago, but now a growing number of experts in the United States feel that it may form the basis of a new generation of Soviet weapons. They are known as radio frequency, or RF weapons, because they operate in the radio frequency spectrum. Their existence is noted in this U.S. Department of Defense publication, which says the Soviets could use them to destroy components of missiles, to interfere with radar and other electronic systems, and even to alter human mind functions. The concept of RF weaponry was predicted at the turn of the century by Nikola Tesla, an American who had emigrated from Yugoslavia. He is best remembered as the man who invented alternating current electricity. In 1899, Tesla built this giant coil which produced 10 million volts of artificial lightning. From it, he theorized the possibility of death rays. This and many other of his ideas about the physics of electricity were ridiculed by the scientific establishment.
Pure science is not a sure thing. You can't predict what's going to work.
What's up, Foot Soldier? Hey, Foot Soldier. Yo, this is going to be a good one, girl. This is going to be a good one.
What's not going to work on?
Robert Golka, a research scientist, built a replica of the Tesla coil about 80 years later. Golka was trying to produce a phenomenon known as ball lightning. He also used the Tesla coil to conduct testing for the U.S. Air Force.
What I was doing was setting in maybe 5-foot-long models of advanced flight aircraft, and we would want to try to find out which part of the airplane was more vulnerable to lightning strikes. Whether it was a wingtip, a canard with a pilot sat.
These experiments could also demonstrate the effect of the electromagnetic pulse of a nuclear blast, and Golka says the effect of RF weapons as well. Golka thinks that Tesla's theory that electromagnetic power could be transmitted through the Earth and its atmosphere without wires is a key element in the Soviet Union's work on RF weapons. Tesla's novel weapons theories were generally ignored in the United States. Nikola Tesla died in 1943, and after the Second World War, all his papers and effects were shipped to his native Yugoslavia, where they were enshrined in a museum. Some say that that museum proved to be a gold mine for...
Okay, so this is just the summary of the beginning of how these weapons been around, and how they are using them. That's very important to know how they are using them. Okay, so I'm going to show you another one, and they short videos, and this video here is this one is a real deep one about California, because I was always wondering, like, how is these things going? What is going on? How is these things possible when nobody's not out there smoking or anything like that to that effect? Okay, nobody's out there smoking. Here's another one. Let me see if you can see it. Okay. You guys can see it. Let's play. Come on, lady. There we go. So we was talking about D.E.W, direct energy weapons, and I have a special guest that's coming up for you, and she's going to talk about what happened to her. Okay, she's going to talk about what happened to her in this content, and she's going to give me a call right now. Okay, here we go. I'm going to have a call. And she's going to tell you her story about what happened with her. Okay, you guys? So you listen very carefully, because a lot of us may have been affected by it, but we just didn't know.
More great test results that are making
We just didn't know what was going on.
It's called Athena. Lockheed Martin makes it, and they've been doing a lot of the pioneering in this laser field. Now, what's really exciting about it is that it's so hard to harness that much power and make it compact enough that's actually going to make practical sense downrange. And they've proven that they can do that. Recently, they tested it against 5 moving drones, so realistic drones that they might go up against with, enemy forces might send against us, for example, or terrorists might send against us. And it successfully shot down all 5 of the drones. This is huge news, because it means that in a realistic, practical setting, it's looking very promising. So it could be ready to field quite soon. So when you see the movies, or you look at comic books or television shows, when you see laser weapons, they tend to be a color, right? Red or green or something like that. Real lasers, one of the key advantages that they provide is that they are invisible. You actually can't see them. You just see this damage suddenly starting to blow something up. So if we take a look now at what the Athena did to a truck. So we're looking at a truck.
Let me go back a little bit so you guys can see this.
It's so hard to harness that much power and make it compact enough that's actually going to make practical sense downrange. And they've proven that they can do that. Recently, they tested it against 5 moving drones, so realistic drones that they might go up against with, enemy forces might send against us, for example, or terrorists might send against us. And it successfully shot down all 5 of the drones. This is huge news, because it means that in a realistic, practical setting, it's looking very promising. So it could be ready to field quite soon. So when you see the movies, or you look at comic books or television shows, when you see laser weapons, they tend to be a color, right? Red or green or something like that. Real lasers, one of the key advantages that they provide is that they are invisible. You actually can't see them. You just see this damage suddenly starting to blow something up. So if we take a look now at what the Athena did to a truck. So we're looking at a truck engine, and the Athena within seconds was able to beam right in there, heat the whole thing up, and burn through the engine of this vehicle. So imagine if you were in that vehicle, all of a sudden, this hole would start appearing in your engine, and the whole thing would just disappear. That's what these lasers do. Now, there's some other key advantages that we should mention. Let me give you 3 of them. 1, unlimited ammo. As long as you have power, you have an unlimited magazine. Downrange, of course, having unlimited ammo can be a huge advantage. Second, it's silent. You don't give the enemy any advance warning that it's coming. Now, the third one I wanted to touch on is that it travels at the speed of light. So not only are we delivering powerful, decisive effects, lethality, we're also doing it so rapidly they don't know what hit them. So if you circle back to that example of being in the car again, that would happen so instantaneously, within seconds, you truly would have no idea what was happening. It would just suddenly start disintegrating, right? So what?
Yes, it is.
Yes. So we talked about the vehicle a bit. We talked about how Athena has just proven itself against drones. But in the real world application, our forces could use it against the drones. We could use it against aircraft. We could use it against vehicles on the ground, like we mentioned. We could also use it against fast attack boats. And in fact, Athena's sibling, Adam, a couple years ago proved that it could eliminate these fast attack boats. So if you imagine boats start trying to swarm one of our ships, not a problem for this laser. Burns right through the hull. As you can see right there, it's burning right through the hull. I'm incredibly excited about this news, this great news about the successful testing of Athena, because it means that we'll be putting these powerful weapons soon. We could put them in the hands of our warfighters and give them even more powerful weaponry to keep themselves safe and also to deliver the effects that we need. They can be used, laser weapons can be used offensively and of course defensively too to help protect our homeland. Think of our airports that might be under threat from enemy drones. They could be used to protect our, use them statically and used to protect our airports. They could be used to protect our power grid, our nuclear plants. So there's lots of different exciting applications for this technology. There's no longer science fiction, but science fact.
Okay. Okay, now we got that out of the way. So this is what we're talking about tonight. Okay, y'all? This is what we're talking about tonight. It's not going to be a long live. It's going to be another 30 minutes because our special guest is getting ready. And I'm just trying to get some of the footage in so you guys can understand what we're talking about. Okay? So let me cut that off. None of them people up on there. Let me cut that off. And I'm also going to show you, we're going to talk about some of the pictures. We got some pictures of some things that happened to her. Okay, they actually happened to her. And so when we think about direct energy, airport system fell last week, and I was like, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. A lot of stuff is going on because people thought I was crazy, and they probably would have put me off the plane. But as much as I fly and I sky search, I watch the sky, I saw some things that I'm going to tell you, I was afraid because how are we up 20,000 feet, going up to 20,000 miles up in the air, and I see like lights. I see lights all the way in the air. Like lights, like what are these lights? Like, is the air traffic more like the street traffic? Where the lights and stuff, where you can see the lights and all kinds of stuff going on up in the air, right? So I'm gonna pull up some pictures. Let me get them from my email. I'm gonna pull up some pictures, and when she calls, she's gonna call in, okay? Because she's not really new, not really good with this kind of technology. She's gonna call in, and we're going to get her story. And I mean, this lady, I've been talking to this lady for quite a few years, and I said, I knew it. I could not explain what I was seeing. Okay, you guys, I couldn't explain what I was seeing, but I knew it to be true. I knew it to be true. You ever wake up in the morning and you got strange bruises on you? Like you've been in a fight? Okay, like you've been in a fight, and what part of your body it affects? I tell you, we're not talking about couponing tonight, y'all. We are not talking about couponing tonight. We're going to talk about what's going on in this world here, okay? What's going on out here. So, how it affects you, you know, this is something what I saw. I'm going to show you a picture. This is something that I saw. Let me go back to StreamYard. I can share the picture. Oh boy, this stuff is... I should have got my mouse. That's what I should have got because I can't even put in my link. Jackie, maybe you can spell it out for me. Video share. I'm going to show you Chrome photos. Okay. But I was flying up in the sky, okay? Up in the sky. I was flying up in the sky. You see that beam? See that reddish beam? I saw beams like that while I was in the in the airplane, okay? While I was in the airplane and they were solid white. I was like, what is holding them up? Like, excuse me, are they flying around? What is holding them up to where the light is just coming from below us? I mean, like, we're all the way up in the sky. How is the light like that coming from below us? Okay, let me see, because you're better at copying and pasting than I am. Let me see. Okay. Jackie, I'm going to spell these words to you because I don't know how to copy and paste from the laptop. It's HTTPS / StreamYard.com. Oh goodness, let me see if I could wait, let me go. Oh, she just squirrel. Jeez. Well, we're gonna share in a minute. Let me cut the phone back on. The lady is here. Hold on.
Hello, shalom.
Shalom. How you doing, Karen?
I am doing okay, Kelly. Hope you are.
Yes, I am. This is Miss Karen. She's going to tell you guys about what her experiences and what happened with her during the D.E.W. direct energy weapons. And we're gonna go through some of her pictures, and she's going to tell you what happened to her. So you guys, let's listen very carefully. Can everybody hear her? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear her. Say hi, Karen.
Hello.
Can y'all hear her? Because we have to do it through the phone. Can you hear her? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear her. All right, great. One of my moms said they can hear you. All right, Karen, tell us your story.
Yeah, and I was gonna tell you, I have the TV in the background for my granddaughter, but it is a distraction. I cut it down, but I can cut it down more. So
no, it's fine. I got you on the computer. It's fine.
Okay, so if it becomes a distraction, please don't. I won't be offended if you say, "Yeah, let's go ahead and cut it down." So I just wanted to just throw it out there that I can cut it down some more.
Thank you. We are children friendly over here. We're children friendly. All right, Foot Soldier says she can hear you.
I know you said that, and I appreciate it, but I still wanted to make sure, it didn't kind of be, it wasn't a distraction from the conversation. So I said, I want to make sure I'm trying to, I'm in the same room, but I want to make sure that we keep that out as much as possible. So I'm in an area in the same room, but not, we are separated somewhat too.
You okay? You gotta keep your eyes on them too. So we got you. You good. You good.
Okay. So, I appreciate you having me on, and I really don't know where to begin, but I do have quite a story. I don't plan on telling everything about it tonight, obviously, but I am grateful to have the opportunity, just to talk about it, somewhat to be able to share my experience. And I'm trying to think where I should start. That's kind of the only thing I'm like, okay, where should I start? Do you want me to talk about what I feel like I've experienced because of the D.E.W., or do you want me to talk about, well, I know you want to cover the D.E.W., which is direct energy weapons.
Right, you can start there. You can start there because my crew, they pretty much know how we do over here. We get to the facts and we we investigate and we understand. You know what I'm saying? Because this is like stuff that real populations of people are not even talking about, and they don't know what's going on with them.
Right. And to be quite honest, if I wasn't a victim of this, I would probably be totally ignorant of it myself, because it's one of those kind of things, it's like unless you're really a victim of it, or you just happen to be somebody that's into certain type of things, you probably wouldn't know anything about it, and it would probably sound foreign to you, and most of all, it would sound unbelievable. Like, there's no way, because I'll start here. When I first became knowledgeable of what I was going through, because I was going through some different odd things and I didn't really understand it. I was starting to connect dots, but I didn't quite understand everything about it. So thankfully, because of the internet, I was able to kind of really connect the dots. And one of the first things I found out was that I was basically what they call a targeted individual, which is a TI for short. And so when I found this out, I was like, whoa, what does this entail? What is this all about? And so then I was able to start researching and finding other victims. And one of the first things I came across in my research initially was there were other people speaking up about their bodies being burned, how they were breaking out in sweat, just odd things were happening to them, itching, all kinds of stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, even though I was dealing with, which I know we're not talking about right now, but I was dealing with the game stalking side of it, I hadn't really dealt with any of the D.E.W, directed energy weapon side of it. So even though I didn't want to doubt that this could happen, but I didn't know anything about it. So the first thing I thought was, this is too crazy to be real. I mean, even myself didn't believe it initially, because I was like, first of all, how can somebody hurt you without touching you or use a weapon that you can actually see physically? If somebody hurts you, they're going to use a knife, a gun, a bat, and you're going to be able to pretty much see those things. So when people started describing that all these things were happening to their bodies remotely while they were asleep, and I'm like, I ain't saying y'all off in the head. I'm just saying it's too hard to believe. So for a long time, I didn't believe it myself, or I kind of brushed it off. And then all of a sudden, within maybe 6 to 8 months of me finding out what I was, a TI, I started waking up with very odd bruises on my body. And it didn't make any sense. And I was like, okay, these other TIs have been, putting their, they've been out there on YouTube and, other platforms describing these things. And I was kind of like brushing it off because I thought it was just too out there. And now I'm waking up with these very odd bruises, having had no fights or no physical altercations while I was asleep. I was starting to wake up. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, everybody. I do have my granddaughter. I'm sorry. Okay, so I was waking up with these like huge bags under my eyes. I mean, granted, at that time I was 40, 42, 43. I was in my early 40s. So, I mean, we can have, slight bags. That's usually not that big of a deal, but this wasn't the normal. Like, I was waking up with these huge, like just didn't even make sense. Huge bags under my eyes. And I was like, this is not normal. I said, what the heck is going on? And so as soon as I would get up every day, I would run to the mirror and look, and I would take pictures. I would just like, I don't know what this is, but this isn't natural. This isn't just natural aging. I mean, I just knew instinctively that whatever was happening wasn't natural. Right. And then I started looking further into it when I started getting bruises on my body, all over my body. And then I started studying directed energy weapons, and I started studying the effects of them. And I was like, and then I started, of course, looking at the other victims who had uploaded pictures as well. And a lot of my pictures look identical to their pictures, even with different skin. Like even though I'm black, there was some white victims who took pictures, and my skin, my injuries looked almost identical to their injuries. So I was like, whoa. I said, this is real. I said, this is real. I said, somebody's remotely hurting me. And what makes it so bad is it's literally almost invisible because they're using, radiation. They're pointing like microwave radiation frequencies at my body. And then I found out there was a Secret Service guy who said that they were doing a lot of this stuff on people. And of course they weren't asking their permission. They're just randomly just using these things on them. They're not getting any kind of consent from the victims. It's just, you're just a guinea pig, and that's what you're gonna be. And if you try to complain about it, there's really nowhere to take your grievance, because it's a clandestine program, and it's meant to make you appear like you're just losing your mind and like you're just out off your rocker. Like, because first thing, you go to the police and say, well, who's hurting you? I don't know. How are they hurting you? They're pointing a weapon at me that's remote and invisible. And then you're automatically told that you must suffer from some type of psychosis, or you suffer from psychosis. And so there's nowhere to go. I mean, things are starting to slowly come out. As far as like something happened where DHS, which is, I'm sure a lot of your viewers already know, is the Department of Homeland Security, who is very heavily involved. They accidentally sent a paper out. I forgot who they sent it to, but they accidentally sent it with some other paperwork that somebody made a request for. And it showed how they have these weapons that can remotely do everything that these people like myself and others are describing. So one thing we confirm is that it ain't in our head, and that the ability and the weapons are out there. And then you have, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but this gentleman who goes by Robert Duncan. I don't know if that's his stage name or his real name, but he goes by Robert Duncan. And he was a scientist within the government, and he said he helped create some of these technologies that they're using on the victims of this. He said, so it's definitely not just in their heads. He said they really do have the weapons, and they are using these weapons on various people within the populace.
Okay, I'm gonna show the picture of your leg so they can actually see some of the damage of it, so you can tell them about it. So this is the picture of your leg I'm going to show right now.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I was just waking up with these very odd, blistery bruising. And then I looked up directed energy weapons, and that's one of the effects, is that they leave your skin blistered just like that. And then once it healed, it left permanent damage behind. And it's like you're being burned. But what was I burnt by?
Right.
I didn't burn myself. So what was I burnt by? It doesn't make any sense. I have permanent damage to my hands. I have permanent damage to my leg and other parts of my body as well. And it looks like I've just been burned. But I haven't burnt myself.
All right, I'm showing right now. I'm showing the picture of your arm. Okay.
Yep, that's just woke up one day and my arm's just looking, and that particular bruising is one that I see a lot in our community. Like that is almost every TI that's complaining that they are also being affected by the D.E.W. have that bruise, my arm bruise, almost identical. So
she also got some bruises on her face that I'm not going to show, but some of the bruises were on her face, other than her eyes. Okay.
Really nasty bags under my eyes that just weren't natural at all. Because usually, things like what would happen was you would wake up looking like you're 20 years older than what you are, but then by the end of the day, it would tighten back up to normal or close to normal. And you knew that if it was just regular bag, it just didn't make any sense. Nothing about it was natural. And so again, I remember when I first started my research that other people were describing these different injuries, but I didn't want to believe that this was possible.
Right.
I honestly want to believe that there is a weapon out there that literally can remotely and see its frequency. So it comes through the walls, it comes through the
windows,
and unless you have a certain kind of camera, some people have been able to catch some of the things that typically the naked eye certainly can't catch. But there have been a couple of people that had a certain kind of camera, and they were able to catch it. And it looks like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Exactly. Because of Karen, she taught me some things. Because I was like, I would have some like burning on my arms, and it wasn't bad because that's why I always see with a lot of covers on. And she taught me how to black out the rays. All my windows, especially when I'm sleeping, I had blackout curtains. Okay. I even got kind of fancy and got leather blackout curtains. Long as there's no rays coming into my house while I'm sleeping. If I got the windows open when I'm up and around because I'm moving, but if I'm laying down sleep and in my subconscious I am sleeping, that's where they come and they make those attacks. They make a lot of attacks at night while you're sleeping, immobile.
I noticed that because that's usually when it would happen to me. It wouldn't happen until I went to sleep. It was always once I went to sleep. It was always during rest when I was in my deepest sleep. It was never just when I was sitting around, walking around doing things, during the day. It was always during sleep time. Always. Every single time. So it's something about when you go to sleep is when they go to work. Literally.
Right. And some of the videos that I was just showing while you was waiting, I was showing them about the drones and stuff and how the airplanes, by being up in the airplanes, it was like, you didn't see no lights up there when you was up in the sky. I'm like, don't tell me what I saw. I saw straight beams. I don't know what they was trying to hit because we are flying. We're up in the sky, 20,000 miles up in the air. Why were those beams there? I said, I don't know if we flew past a satellite or what. But go ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff in the sky now. There's a lot of, and Ben, you live in Texas, and see, that's a that's a testing ground state anyway because you have the big military base there.
Yeah.
And so they definitely, Texas is definitely somewhere where matter of fact, there was an early case in the 80s where these ladies said they were attacked by directed energy weapons back in the 80s, and they happened to live in Texas. And they even tried to sue the government about it. But yeah, so you live in Texas, so it's definitely a state that they test these things out in. I wouldn't doubt it.
I've seen a lot since I've been living here that I didn't normally see in the city. Because, we had these big buildings, but they also have been using these weapons to destroy. And another thing that I wanted to tell them after you finish saying your story, I want to tell them, just think about this. How are all these forest fires happening in California? How? How are the trees still there, but all the houses are gone? How? How is there a forest fire and the trees are still standing, but all the houses are burnt down? So we're going to think on that note. Now finish your story, ma'am.
Yeah, you're on to something. I tell you that. You're on to something. But yeah, I don't claim to be an expert. I'm just I tell people all the time, I'm just a single mom. I'm, close to middle age now. I don't have a background in this type of stuff. I probably wouldn't have an interest in it if I wasn't a victim.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't claim to be an expert in any way. It is a complex topic. There are people who can talk about the ins and outs of direct energy weapons way better than I can, but I can just give you an overlay of what I have dealt with, what I have personally
been affected by. Karen, we lose her. My Wi-Fi be bad too, y'all. I'm gonna let her call back. So yeah, these stories, it could be my Wi-Fi too, because we having strong winds. But this, I've known this lady for quite a few years, maybe 10 years. This is what happened to her. I tell you, this is what happened to her. And it's crazy. It's crazy. It's sad. It's like, this is what the government is doing. So, as I was saying before, if we want to go backwards, if we want to, let me call it back. If we want to go backwards, we can go all the way back to where, let me see, she's calling in back now. Hey, you back?
Hey, Kelly.
Yeah, it could be my Wi-Fi because I have a lot going on, and you know we have winds.
Yeah, it could be mine. I don't know, but I was describing something, and then all of a sudden you were calling me, and I said, "Oh, Kelly's calling me."
Yeah, you can continue. We here with you. Dad.
Yeah, so I think I was just saying that you know, this is a complex subject, and you know, I certainly don't claim to know everything about it, but I just know that even though they call them the non-lethal weapons, because you know they say that they're not lethal, so
It is.
still like, but you keep putting this kind of radiation on somebody, and eventually you're going to break down their organs. You're going to cause them cancer, heart attacks, all kinds of ailments are gonna eventually happen to that person if you continue to do this. This is not a healthy thing. You know, this isn't a healthy thing to do to anybody. And then because you don't have a weapon, so to speak, you can't just go to the police and say, I'm being hit with directed energy weapons, because they're going to say, well, you got to prove it. You know, most TIs, most people that are victims of this, they're not real wealthy people. Some of them, you get a few that might have a little money here and there, but because I don't know if you know about Sister Gloria Naylor, who was the lady who wrote Women's of Brewster's Place.
Wow.
She became a victim. I don't know if she got hit with the weapons, but she became a victim of gang stalking because of her neighbor. She had, her and her neighbor were having some issues, and her neighbor got her watch listed. And she was dealing with the gang stalking, and she was able to write a book about it called 1996. And she even did a big interview with Ed Gordon. And because of who she was, I guess, because most people can't even get an interview because they don't want, you know, it's a taboo topic, so to speak. So the mainstream media, they're not real quick to give you airtime. But because she's Gloria Naylor, she was able to pin down Ed Gordon for an interview, and there's on NPR. And so she talks a little bit about her experience and what she was dealing with, and she knew that the intelligence community were definitely the culprits of it. But she's deceased now. She died, I think, in 2016. I think she had a heart attack, but
wow.
But yeah, so she was a victim of this as well. But yeah, it's just over time, if you continue to hit somebody with these weapons, you're going to cause their health to eventually fail. You know what I mean? You're going to cause their health to eventually, you know, start declining. And a lot of the TIs have already died from different cancers.
Tell us more about the TIs. Tell us more about the TIs.
One in particular?
Just basic. Don't go too deep. Just basic. They're pretty new to this right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I probably should have pulled up some information to make it so I wouldn't be fumbling. But just off the top of my head, again, a TI is just short for target individual.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is somebody gets you watch listed. They start what they call a suspicious activity report.
Mm-hmm.
And when they put these suspicious activity reports in, they can say anything. I mean, they can say that they suspect that you are a very dangerous person and that you're a threat to yourself and you're a threat to others. And it would just be a good idea to keep an eye on you because, you know,
Yeah.
you might become somebody that could be a problem. And when they do this, this person doesn't have any due process. There's no alerting of you. You're never alerted.
Mm-hmm.
You're never given any type of due process to dispute it in any way. And when they first initially do this, you really don't know what's going on because it's pretty low on the hush. It's like they're watching you, they're keeping tabs on you, but they're not really disrupting your life, so to speak, until you figure it out. For me, that's how it was. And for a lot of other people who've come forward, it seems to be the pattern. It's like once they realize you know something's wrong and you start connecting dots, whether you've totally connected or you're getting there, once you get to that stage, that's when they turn it up, so to speak. And they've been there the whole time, but that's when they don't mind you knowing, yes, we are here. Yes, we're here. Yes, we're watching you.
Mm-hmm.
And they go in and just throw everything but the kitchen sink at you. They make it so you can't work, or if you work, you're going to have a lot of problems. They're going to make work really difficult. So many TIs are not working. They are homeless or close to becoming homeless. They turn everybody within that community against you. And if you live in a small town, it makes it that much easier, but they do it in big cities too. There are TIs everywhere. California, New York, of course, Texas, where
everywhere. Yeah, true that.
They're everywhere.
It says directed energy weapons shoot painful but non-lethal beams. Is similar technology behind the Savannah syndrome. You know, there was quite a few other different people that are really talking about it, and they just don't know that these things are happening to them. You know, they just don't know.
Right. Yeah, it's like, cause a lot of people. I mean, especially in America, we're taught that the government doesn't do any wrong, and we're taught also that if it's not on mainstream news, it's probably not happening. And so,
hello,
mainstream news. If you think outside conspiracy theories,
they
just write you off.
Right.
So it makes it real hard to, open up topics like this to certain people. Not everybody, but it can be difficult to get reception. It can be very.
My people over here, we like information, because even the electromagnetic spectrum, which I'm showing right now on the video, and it shows you, it's the things. That's why people say, don't microwave your food, just cook it. Don't be in such a rush to get all this radiation into you. Just cook it.
Right.
And you start seeing, slowly but surely, you start seeing a lot of the animals are gone. Now there's new species. How are you gonna have a new species of an animal unless you integrate in the animals, right?
Oh yeah, you're mixing genetics. You're mixing up stuff. You're creating new animals.
Exactly.
That's why it's wild kingdom out here. I tell you, it's so much wild stuff going on. And like I said, I would probably be ignorant to over 50% of it if I wasn't dealing with what I'm dealing with. So it's like a blessing and a curse, I guess, at the same time. That's the only way I can think of it. It's a blessing and a curse. It's good to be knowledgeable, but wow, it's unreal.
Because I wanted to show them these big tankers that they be having up in the sky, because I'm a sky watcher. We have these big tankers up in the sky. How are they staying up there like that? I don't understand. So then I looked further and I said, oh, the satellites. They got satellites floating over our heads inside of the earth. There's no outer space inside the earth. And they're hitting us with these beams. The military using them. All these different places are using these military beams.
Yeah, that's a big thing now, and that's how I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to get too complex or go off in left field, but that's another big part of the targeting and of the probably how they're aiming these weapons at us. Is if I go outside right now, there's this thing in the sky. It almost looks like a star. And if you were just not really if you really didn't pay close attention, you might write it off as just a star and keep moving. And the funny thing happened when I was first catching on. I was trying to learn everything that I could about it. And so I decided I'm going to go, what do you call it? Off grid to a certain extent, but not totally off grid, but just a little bit. And I mean by I'm not going to have a cell phone because we know cell phones automatically have GPS. And if you have a cell phone, that's an automatic track.
I keep my location off all the time. When I walk out the door, I just cut it off. Yeah.
I don't blame you. You're a smart lady.
I don't even put the phone to my face. I don't even put the phone to my face. I tell people, everybody I speak to got to be on speaker. I don't even want that stuff going into my ears. I mean, nothing.
Because it can get in your head, and I think that may be causing very wise, because you don't know what this radiation is doing all close to your head all the time. So, but one of the things I noticed, even after I stopped using a cell phone for quite some time, is that I noticed that they still knew where I was at all times. And I was like, I know they can have people physically follow you, but it didn't. I keep a close eye out. Obviously, since I'm dealing with this, I'm very situational awareness. I'm very aware of my surroundings, even more than I would have normally been. And I didn't notice anybody like driving, following me, so to speak. But it seemed like where I was at all times, it was like whether I had a cell phone or if I was in a car, if I was walking to the store.
Wow. They
were knowing where I was, and that was creeping me out. That was creeping me out more than anything at that particular time because I couldn't figure it out. Like, okay, how they doing this? I'm like, okay, they say they can chip you with the RFID. I'm sure you heard of RFID chips. I'm like, okay.
Every time we get blood, we've been chipped. Okay, it's just that's how they know. That's how they know what people to take out because of the organs, because your blood type match. We know that for a fact. Still, the organs, they get you in a car accident and take your organs while they at it. You know, that's why a lot of people like really careful about driving now so much. You know what I'm saying? You know, because
especially like somebody just said, don't let some rich person need a heart and you got their match, buddy. You on the chopping block. You know, they just that's the way they are. They'll take it. They know you. If you are their match, they're not waiting on no list. They don't sit on lists.
Because some of the
they don't on somebody's list waiting.
Right.
They get their heart or whatever they need.
This picture up here that I have on the screen now is two sides of the two different types of side effects. I'm more so much on the chronic system side. I have headaches, impaired concentration, memory loss, insomnia. I have not slept in like 3 days, almost 4 days already. Some of the depression.
And that's a big part of it.
Yeah, because I mean, if I even see any rays of sun, I can't sleep at night because I keep hearing helicopters and stuff like to that effect. And you know, they never spray my area, but they do spray all parts of Dallas, the lower income areas. They spray them. I'm like, you know, you guys don't go outside because they're spraying outside or whatever. They're like, they don't never spray our area. Who spray for mosquitoes in the wintertime? Tell me, how does that make sense? Don't go outside. Don't go outside.
They are definitely spraying the skies with that poisonous crap, chemtrail crap.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't believe them. You know, and then like some people get nausea, some people get unsteady, loss of balance, vertigo, dizziness, you know, all these things. And you ask yourself, well, I'm a pretty healthy person, but why do I hear my ears constantly ringing? Why, you know, why I can't hear anything? Right. You know, so a lot of these things are on the direct energy weapons list, and people are they just not really understanding, because if you're a pretty much healthy person, why are you getting all these ailments when you go outside, or where are you sleeping? Why?
Yeah, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. You know, I mean, I'm not saying I'm a totally healthy person. I do have my struggle with certain things, but even with those things, these certain things that are happening to me just when I'm asleep, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up.
I agree. I definitely see.
It does not.
You see, and this person picture here, they showing their legs, how it affected them on their legs, on both of their legs. And it's either going to hit your right side first, and then you turn over because you think you're tired, and then it catches you on your left side. You know.
Yep. They don't have a respect of, you know, they've hit me both sides. I mean, my right leg, my left leg, my right hand. I mean, they don't seem to have a particular area or, you know, side. They just whatever they choose, I guess. I don't know how they choose or how they go about it.
And these weapons are so powerful, they come through the walls, okay? They come through the walls, they go through metal. This is how they're taking out their enemy in the sky. They're taking them out by using these beams for in the Navy and the Army and all of them. They're using these beams, and this is a barge. I'm like, we don't even fly over water. But yet they got beams so to locate you. To locate a boat and just take them out. Boats are sinking. Like, what is going on?
Yep, this is the new warfare. This is the old ways, bombs and old. That's yesterday. Now they're on to some new stuff, totally new stuff. It's like it's a whole new era, and it's like invisible era.
Right.
Which makes it really tough because, again, for somebody like me or you or anybody, you know, to try to go to law enforcement and describe this kind of stuff, and to be honest, law enforcement knows about it, but they will play dumb, and if you can't prove it, they will not help you prove it. It's just the way it is. You know, it's like you're saying that somebody's hurting you and somebody's assaulting you and leaving bruises and marks on your face, but you have no evidence to support it. And so they basically either tell you have a good day, or they will threaten to put you on a what you call it, hold at a psychiatric ward.
Right. That's the scary part about it. They want to punish you for you telling them what's going on. How is that possible?
Exactly.
How is that possible? Like, why?
It's pure evil. It's pure evil because most of them know that it's going on, but they know that you don't have the resources to really get the type of evidence you need to gather. So it's just real evil. It really is pure evil.
Because I was showing this, I wanted to show this video right here that's coming up. You know, you can stay on. And what the video is going to show you is that how California, how they up there using these beams for wildlife. Okay, you guys, when I tell you they're out there starting forest fires all in Africa, clearing ground. This is the easiest way for them to start a fire, to clear ground to build, okay? But why is you doing it at the people's expense? At the people's expense of losing their houses and everything that they have, so you can clear their ground, so you can build some high-rise money maker for yourself and just give these people pennies on a dollar for their homes. Most of these people didn't have insurance on their homes. Most of these people already own their homes. So now what you want to do, relocate them? It's all part of the regentrification process.
Burn up their homes and they run them out.
Okay.
Really sad.
Yes, it really is sad. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit about what they're doing on California, okay? So just hold tight.
Ranged weapons that inflict damage on a target by emitting highly focused energy? The answer is most likely yes. But most people believe that these kinds of weapons are just science fiction, due to movies like Austin Powers, for instance.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin phase 2 of our evil project. Or is it phase? I don't know phases. Anyways, this is the phase in which we put a giant laser on the moon. As you know, the moon rotates around the Earth like so. When the moon reaches its appropriate lunar alignment, it will destroy.
Now, mind you guys, even though this is an old movie, but I believe this then. And he's going to show you how they use these lasers, okay? He's going to show you how we use them.
Destroy Washington, D.C. Anyways, the key to this plan is the giant laser.
But in reality, these direct energy weapons are admitted to be real and are documented.
Absolutely, foot soldier.
Scientists have been working on this top secret project since 1974. This laser is capable of unleashing the power of the sun. Enough energy to light up every...
Did y'all hear what he said?
Yeah.
These lasers...
that was the year I was born. So these things have been out for a long time too. That's the thing a lot of people don't understand. This isn't even new technology. Of course, they probably, they've tweaked it and got it better. But this stuff has been around for decades.
Right. They upgraded it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Every home in the U.S. or wipe out mankind.
What we can do is focus this very high energy into a very small spot for a very short time. And when that happens, we get the conditions that are very much like inside our sun.
So you hear that? Now let's watch a clip from YouTube channel In Truth by Grace. Link will be in the description, of course.
This is not a carbon fire. This is the only fire in the whole wide world that's considered a forest fire where the forest did not burn. The forest didn't burn here. All the glass melted.
What I just said to you, how they burnt, the forest is still there, but all the houses are burnt up. I just was telling you about it. Every time there's a fire out there in California, I call my son and say, "Where are you?" He said, I'm like 5 miles away from the fire, looking at it out of the window. I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Scary.
Yeah.
All the structural materials that used to be a house have disappeared. They have disappeared. You have a couple of bent holes here, a couple of holes that are bent, but you have absolutely no materials. The houses have not fallen. The houses have disappeared. Materials of these contents of these houses are gone. Let's listen to what they have to say here.
Before we listen to what they have to say, Now, if you look at this picture, you guys, you can't see it, hon, but it's an open field. The trees are still standing. They said the house is like decimated. Now they got light poles. They got light poles that are bent from the heat. So how come the tree didn't burn? How come the tree didn't burn? The tree, the lumber is the same lumber that they use to build the houses, correct? So how come the houses are gone and the trees aren't? You see?
Yeah, that's not natural right there. That's a sign of something that's just ridiculously odd, because that shouldn't be the case if it's really just the natural, you know what I mean? Those trees should be burnt.
Yeah, everything should be gone.
We can talk a little bit about it. Well, first, let's go here. I want to show you where these fires are. Because if you're like me, you didn't know that there were 14 separate fires. How did 14 separate fires start over such a wide area?
Did you hear that? That's really scary. 14 fires in 14 different areas, all going at the same time.
Yeah, that is very
They had Santa Rosa, Napa, Sears Point, Costalaga, all these different areas, fires, and they're not like right next to each other. You think from one fire to the counties to the next, they in 4 different areas.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Guys, this isn't normal. This is not how it works. These homes didn't fall. These homes didn't burn. These homes disappeared. There's nothing left. There's not even a toilet bowl or a bathtub. This is one of the cars, or trucks, or something that was in this fire, and you'll notice that the glass here, which has a melting point of between 2,600 and 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? We're talking forge, foundry, furnace temperatures to melt this glass. Glass does not melt on its own, guys. Open air fires do not create this kind of complete combustion of the materials, all right?
How do they create a laser with such devastating force? By assembling an array of 192 lasers and aiming them at a single hydrogen pellet the size of a BB. These 192 lasers are linked together by a twisting jungle of tubes that snake through this mammoth 10-story structure, which is the length of 3 football fields. The plan is to fire all 192 laser beams at once. Each beam starts out low-powered, about the size of what's inside your DVD player. But as they pass through the complex maze of...
Did you hear what the man said? The man said these beams...
Yeah, I was going to put my TV down just a tad, because they're doing some singing, and
It's okay.
I can hear as well. I'm gonna hold on 1 second.
Barbie the God said, now the fires could have been stopped after the house was burnt. Why the trees are still standing? This is what we're talking about, Barbie, because they're using these direct energy weapon beams to start the fires. And they are removing the people's houses. The houses are gone. I mean, you may see something about a car. You know, he said it starts out the size of microwaves, starts out the size of VCRs, and it grows into what we're about to see next. You know, so these things wipe out a whole area just to regenerate.
Is the tubes, they merged into one super beam. This super beam fires 500 terawatts of power in 2 billionths of a second. Roughly 500 times the entire peak power output of the United States. When that light strikes the hydrogen pellet, it cooks it to over 800 million degrees.
The fact is, we are dealing with microwave weapon technology. How else would this tree catch on fire from the inside?
A haunting but mesmerizing.
Wow. This picture that I'm showing them now, Miss Karen, the picture has the fire inside of the tree, not the outside of the tree. The fire is actually going on inside of the tree.
Wow, that's crazy.
I'm gonna send these little videos to you so you go check them out. The fire is actually inside of the tree. From a little pellet that they shoot all this energy through, it hit the tree, and now the fire is on the inside of the tree.
Rising steam from the wildfires in Sonoma County, a man came across this tree burning from the inside out. Matthew McDermott was driving around looking for escape routes as multiple fires closed in on the area he was in. The tree appears to be hollowed out by embers and flames.
Right? You can look this up. This is all over the news. Tree on fire from the inside. The only time that happens is when trees are struck by lightning, which in itself is a direct energy, right? This whole thing is all messed up. Hurricane after hurricane, which are also able to be created and controlled by man. And now this. And right on cue, we have the Geostorm movie coming out, which has some truth in it.
Yes, it does.
We can control our weather.
That's where the heart comes in.
But it's mostly outer space reinforcement propaganda.
Senate committee will now hear from Jacob Lawson, Climate ISS Chief Coordinator. May the record reflect that he was nearly 1 hour late.
Yeah, sorry about that. I literally had to fly in from outer space.
Are all these things a distraction from the Vegas incident? Probably. These days, everything seems to be a distraction from something else.
Huh. See that? It says Eminem attracts Trump. Pussycat Dolls, Kayla joins girls. You know, this is what it's showing.
Anyway, I'll put some links for other channels that do a great job at covering these things. Check out In Truth by Grace.
Okay, so what do you guys think about that little video? It's just so hard. You know, it's just so hard that they are doing these things to us. This lady, Miss Karen, that's on the phone telling you guys her story. So she can continue on with whatever else you would like for us to know. We're showing the pictures of your arm right now again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just all of it's connected. Like with the videos that you just showed, I mean, it's basically all connected. I mean, it's like people are catching on that these things are not natural and that somebody's, you know, hitting these things with something, and that it's not just natural, I don't know, forest fires or whatever they're trying to say that's causing it. I guess they're trying to say the heat, the dryness, it's because California is real dry and it doesn't get a lot of rain in California, so they're trying to say it's just so dry there, and the dryness is causing it, but
no way. No way. Now, these pictures that I'm showing you guys is what direct energy did to her body. She had to start putting up the black curtains. She had to, actually get herself together. All right, we lost her again. Let's call it back. And these pictures are graphic pictures of what's happened to her body, and she could not explain what happened to the doctor. That doctor had no idea.
Hey, Kelly.
Yeah, we went out again. We showing the pictures of your leg. So with your leg part, right? Your leg. Was it like restricted blood flows going on with you?
Yeah, so it's just restricted blood flow.
I'm saying after you got burnt.
You mean like health issues?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't really feel the burning. Like it's really, that's how it's so weird, because it's like, we've all touched the iron at some point in our lives. We've had a burn from, touching a stove or something. Throughout our life journey that we've gotten burned on. I would say most adults and most even children have experienced that at some point. It's not like a regular burning. It's just really weird. That's why it's not natural in any way. Because it's not like a regular burn, because that's the first thing people say. Well, do you feel it burning? I'm like, no, you don't feel it. You just wake up with these very odd bruises all over your body.
Right.
These blistery bruises. And then, like I said, when I researched, they said that was one of the most common things that you will see from a person that's been hit is blistery skin.
Because I used to wake up with bruises. I was like, I used to feel like I was in a fight in my sleep. And I was like, I don't know, was I in a spiritual fight? I don't know. But I would wake up with bruises.
Hello?
Like, yeah, I'm here. You okay?
Okay, yeah, just a teeny bit.
I would wake up with bruises on me, and I'm like if I was in a spiritual fight, you know, in my sleep, I don't know. I just don't know. I used to, I'd be black, blue.
You're scratching your head.
Exactly. But since you turned me on to how to keep a lot of that stuff out, like I said, all my curtains are blackout curtains. And you know, I do sleep more comfortably during the day with the curtains being dark in my room, you know.
Okay.
And then, you know, it's like you can't hide from it though. You just can't hide from it.
No.
You can't hide from
it. They
it.
can turn them up, down. You know, they can turn them up and they can turn them down. They can turn them up, and if they turn their frequency up too high, even those curtains will be no shield,
exactly. You know? Because I was like, with a lot of these things that's going on up in the sky and stuff, you know, people say, oh, it's just I'm a conspiracy theorist. No, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just telling you, so much wild shit is going on right now, and we don't know what's going on. If we don't talk to each other and try to figure it out, we don't know. How is all these fires starting when nobody's walking in nobody's wooded area, especially big areas like that, smoking no cigarettes?
Yeah, they try to say it's because it's so dry, I guess, but I don't buy that either. I just don't buy it.
And then the song comes out, it never rains in California, okay? It never rains in California, but at the same time, how these places starting fire? But how is the houses burning? And the lady I saw a couple from last year, the lady was like, I just don't understand it. We was outside, and next thing you know, 2 hours later, our houses is burned down to the quick.
I just can't imagine. Like, I don't know how, like, I didn't realize you had a son out there, because I know that has to be nerve-wracking. As a mom, I know that got to be nerve-wracking just to know.
She said it wasn't that hot. She said it wasn't that hot. She said we was outside on the patio, having lunch or whatever, outside on the patio, and it was a nice, beautiful day outside. And then next thing you know, we started smelling smoke and stuff like that. And then fire trucks started coming through. The fire trucks came less than a mile away from her. They heard the fire trucks. And then next thing you know, everybody got to evacuate. The forest is on fire. What do you mean? What do you mean? How did the fire spread that far from the forest to the people's houses, but yet people's houses are going? So just like when you look at a lot of these volcano eruptions, you don't think they trying to erupt those volcanoes just for them to clear out the neighborhood, the community? Huh. What they say?
I believe they are.
You know, I just say, you know, people have to take this direct energy and a lot of these things is going on a little more seriously, because it's happening too frequently. It's happened too frequently. And people never, you know, they so busy they don't look up. Direct energy on humans. You know, direct, because now they need people to get out of the space, so now they can actually clean it up. It up.
It's insane.
And I'm gonna tell you.
Like, No, I was just saying, it's just insane.
Barbie the Guard said, when this C-SPAN widespread, how it go globally and fast, I heard that China was doing testing control of weather warfare. Of course, we know, I taught them about the HARP. I taught them about the HARP and the weather controlling. My crew is pretty knowledgeable because we learned all that stuff together. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, about the harp and the different weather. This is what we do. You know, we go a lot of other places for their content, but you know, over here we do stuff like this. You know, so a lot of the problems are like anybody seen Star Trek? Anybody seen Star Trek? Remember Captain Kirk and all them on Star Trek? Whenever they would have a fight and they would use those beams. You ever notice those beams?
I never watched Star Trek myself. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I hate Star Trek. I should go back now and watch it.
I have a picture of it right here. What we're looking at is a Starship Enterprise. Barbie, you good, sweetie? You good? You good? We welcome you. Good? You good, girl? We talking about so right under the spaceship, right under the spaceship. You're going to see two beams that's come out from the spaceship. And those beams that you see are from the defense mechanism to fire upon the people. You know, they're going to fire upon the next ship that's in their way. So that's what that is. And it has two beams, two laser beams. I'm trying to see if I can put it up for you guys so you can see the two laser beams. Let me see, present. Okay, let me show you the two laser beams from Star Trek, from the Enterprise, Starship Enterprise. So what we're talking about is direct energy on humans. So the lasers, guns, whatever exists, absolutely they do exist. They do exist. And the sooner people start understanding, the more they will understand that these lasers aren't to protect us, they're to end us. Sorry to say. That's how I feel about it. Because if you go over there to the other countries, other countries that are doing what they're doing, and the nuclear wars and everything that's going on with all these nuclears, did y'all know that United States don't have the most nuclear weapons? The other countries do. Our country do. Russia does. That's why Russia is like, we ain't scared of y'all. Do what y'all gonna do. We got you. We'll take out your whole entire continent. No, not just the United States. We took out the whole half of the continent. You know, so I just learned about that the other day. I was like, are you serious? How do they have more nukes than the United States? And
are you sure?
Yeah.
Because the United States is some sneaky. I wonder if that's really, if they don't hide that they have more nuke power, because they got a lot of nuke power. So
okay.
I'm not saying they don't. They might.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up for you right now. Who?
Russia has more nuke power than
more nukes. I'm gonna look it up for you right now. Who has more nukes, Russia or United States? Let's see. Okay. Russia has 6,375 warheads. United States have 5,800 warheads. China has 320 warheads. And it shows you, I'm putting up on the screen for you guys so y'all can see. Let me see. I'm putting it on the screen so you guys can see. This is what I'm showing them is maps of the United States and all the world. And yeah, so the other third world countries and stuff to that effect. So this is what we're working with. And it tells you everybody who has and how many they have. Now, the question should be, how accurate are they? Okay? How accurate are they? For them to have so many, where my glasses at? For them to have so many, France have 290, United Kingdom 225.
Okay, I'm looking at you now too. I've got you on the screen now, so I'm actually watching.
Oh, great. That's good. You're getting there. We're gonna get you there slowly but surely. So all these now, you know, Well, we don't think Russia is really, quote unquote, as advanced as United States or China. China is very advanced. It's those 350, those little bit that we need to worry about a lot. Because
Yeah, well, that's why they never really attack those. And you notice that's who they normally don't attack, Russia or China, because I think they do know they got some firepower.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And see, and you have to actually look schematically how, okay, I don't want to believe in flat earth, but flat earth. You have to actually look schematically how they are scattered. And that's why we have to have treaties with other countries, because Russia is connected. A lot of people don't know this. And, you know, we talked about it over here plenty of times. Russia is connected to Alaska. Now, I don't want nobody in my chat to start that again. Oh, Alaska's cold. And listen, through the Bering Strait, Russia, you can walk the Bering Strait and walk right into Alaska, okay?
Oh, wow.
That's how close Russia is. And they will hit us on the west side. Now, they will hit us from the west. But yet, China will hit us from the east. You see, you have to really see, that's something that the world always have a facade of things, you know, like be hiding stuff. Like they hide so much stuff to where if you actually think of how the maps are, I'll tell anybody in a minute, the maps are the biggest liars. The way the maps are, because them places are not really there. We thought Russia was on the other side of the world. Russia's in our backyard, okay?
Yeah.
Russia's on the Pacific Ocean side. But yet Africa is on our Atlantic Ocean side. So that was just a little quick history thing for you guys.
Wow.
You know, so when people are like, oh, Alaska is not that cold, because I was trying to figure out, why was Alaska always at the bottom of the map? How? How is it at the bottom of the map freezing cold? 24-hour days. So are we to assume that Alaska is also connected to, we know it's connected to Canada, but why do we have it? Why is it over here? Why is it connected to Russia? Man, listen. Have y'all heard of BRICS? BRICS? Tell us, what is it, Jackie? Tell us. Right. I believe Russia does have a kind of advance. They ain't over here that's just marching all day and all night. We need to get them marches over here. Yeah, that's why we have allies, right? That's why we have allies. That's why we have treaties. What the lady said was, let me tell you, we have power that will get them, but who strike first, that's what we have, the allies. Now, see, these weapons of mass destruction were made so that they can knock a missile out the sky. They can knock planes out the sky. They can't surface, beam down, and hit submarines at the crazy depths of feet that they are. But are you looking at the whole big picture? If they can do that, you think? I remember back in the 70s, and everybody was talking about Big Brother this, Big Brother that. Big Brother been here, okay?
Yeah.
Gary said, hold up. I was in the Marines 4 years. I did 2 tours overseas. Russia and China is no match for American military. Okay. They may not be.
Up to a point, I kind of agree with them, but don't sleep on China or
exactly.
Russia,
that's what I'm saying. Because we as Americans may have more but they have quantity. We have quality. They have quantity. And when I say they have quantity, they got millions upon millions. Okay, we got 100,000s. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot of people, and it's just us. So who weapons are better? Who weapons are faster? You know, but on a hand-to-hand contact fight, we ain't looking that good. I'm sorry, because they have all this quantity of people.
Yeah. That's to be true.
So therefore, we have to protect not to have any nuclear warfare, Barbie, because no one wins. No one wins. Pushing the buttons, no one wins.
Nobody.
No one wins on that. So, Miss Karen, anything else you would like to talk about?
Not really. I mean, is there anything, if your audience have any specific questions they want to ask me, or you even, if there's any other specific things you want to ask, please feel free. I know you are one of my Facebook friends, and I'm constantly rambling about this program and about what I'm doing with.
Right, talk about it.
Facebook platform and Twitter. I'm also on Twitter, but so I'm always rambling every single day, and I make that my duty to do that because it needs to be exposed, and that's all we have. The victims of this, we don't really have any other way to expose this because mainstream media is not very receptive to it, and I think that's because they're controlled. It's controlled. And so there's a few people that have been able to get their stories out there on mainstream a little bit, but for the most part, mainstream media has been very unreceptive to our plight, the TI plight. So therefore, all we really have to get our stories out is social media. And so that's what we use. But yeah, feel free if there's anybody that want to ask.
I was looking for your publication that you did. That's what I was looking for. I could not find it. I know I have it in one of my archives because I wanted to talk to you about it.
What publication?
Well, you did an interview with I forgot the lady's name. And
oh yes. Oh, you keep up.
Girl,
Frankie. I did it, Frankie Steves or something. I think her blog is called.
Yes.
Yes, Frankie. Oh man, if I could go fishing around, I might could find it. If I go through my Twitter and see if I could.
I even shared it. And I still can't find it.
Yeah, I know. I forgot. I haven't even forgotten about it. I'm just gonna be honest. I had forgot about that, but it was not a bad interview.
It was really good. It was really good
to share my story on there as well, and I'll try to see if I can find it. I don't want to waste a lot of time, but if I can pull it up real quick, I'm gonna go through my messages with her on Twitter.
Okay.
And I maybe find it because I haven't messaged her that much, so maybe I can pull it up. And if I can, I'll send it to you.
Okay, that'll be great.
I'll send it to you. The link, I'll send it to you.
You guys, what we was talking about direct energy weapons, and Miss Karen here, she was telling us her story about what happened to her, and as I showed you guys the very graphic pictures of her body as a result of it, and she's a very beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very beautiful woman, and these she was targeted.
Oh, they've done a number on me. They've done a number on me, Kelly.
I know.
They've done a number on me. They have. I tell you.
People go outside and around, and people are always watching you. People are always watching you for whatever reasons. Big Brother is in the sky. He's in the lights. He's in the ceiling. He's up above us. You know, because my whole thing is that, you know, a lot of people are crying about the Havana syndrome and how they're using, actually in these smaller countries, direct energy to burn these people, to burn these people out.
Yeah, yeah.
Country.
It's crazy.
Jackie, what did you say? Oh, research is good. I mean, you erased it. I didn't see it, honey. I'm sorry. I didn't see the comment. Yeah, these countries, you know, so they go to the small areas of the countries, and they wipe them whole countries out. They wipe the whole tribe. They do the whole wipe out the whole tribe. Okay, and I have researched some islands in some countries to where you can't even go. You can't even go to that island because the natives of that island will kill you on sight. Undead you on sight. Sorry. I ain't good at all that. The crazy stuff. Undead you on sight. You know, so Barbie, my helicopter was shot down, killed 27 Marines, and I was injured bad, 90% disabled. Wow, Gary. Oh, okay. Now you unfortunately called Karen drop. Hey, Karen. Coming back and forth. Yeah. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are BRICS. What does that mean? Tell me, what does that mean? What does that those words stand for? Those letters. You know me, I'll go look up stuff. What does it mean by BRICS? Thank God you did survive, Gary. Thank God. We're fighting wars for nothing. Absolutely, because I'm like, I don't understand what could have been so, detrimental that we have to have war on each other. That we have to have war on each other. I mean, so now we have control. They have control of everything. The war must start with us now. We have to actually, I'm not going to want to go too deep in it. We have to actually come together. We have to come together. You know, we as a culture have to come together. And when I say as a culture come together, we have to get on the same page, because every other country, every other source, you know, they're not being treated the way we are. They're not. They're just not. To take over the world economy. Now look at the economy. You know, I'm not jealous. I'm not want to sound jealous, but all these states are getting money for whatever it is, whether it's stimulus packages, getting this, getting that. You know what they offer in Texas? Solar panels. Everybody else getting money packages to survive, and then with the solar packages that they offering us. Now these from Tesla cost like about maybe let's give out a number, 30,000, right, for your house. You're not giving us that for free. You're giving it to us for us to pay $100 a month for the rest of our lives till we pay off that 30,000, and then they want to add it to your mortgage. I'm like, no, you will not. So give me the 2K and take your 30K and go somewhere else, because no. Barbie said, we're fighting to save others when we need to leave the other people to fight, but yet we get into it because we give them weapons to help, which makes us involved. Yes. Now, as far as the weapons are concerned, the weapons for war, right? For war, both sides need weapons, and they're buying the weapons from the same people. Okay? So nobody makes money during war except for the person they buying the weapons from. Absolutely. Absolutely, wars are going to become with that because we got too many distractions. We got too many distractions. I mean, we have to focus on one goal. And in order for us to focus on one goal, we have to get rid of a lot of these distractions. You know, Donald Trump, he's a distraction. All kinds of other nonsense going on. It's because, you know, these things are taking our focus off of what we want. If we want reparations, why do we, okay, I didn't want to go into that, but in order for us to receive reparations, we have to be declared as a nation of people. Okay? And we don't want to fall under the treaties of the Indians. That's another big thing I'll be working on. I'm still working on. It's taking me maybe a few years to work on that. That's another big thing about how they did the Indians so bad, and they want to do that to us as Black people. So that is something. That's another thing, because even though they gave the Indians their reparations, they got them living on reservations. They got them working for their money on their reservations. Only the tribal leaders are the ones of the reservations that has the money, that make money. The casinos, they control a certain percentage of the casinos. And then the overall messy what our government is, they control their money. So you're gonna give me $500 a month for me to take care of my family after you done stole my land and built these casinos that we're only getting $2 per person per tribe. Man, listen, the breakdown is so scary. The breakdown is so scary, you guys. So, you know, even though some of the Indians did us bad, you know, so have the African people. You know, you ask yourself, are you African or are you American? I'm leaning for I'm a Black human, okay? She said, look back at our history. Wars have been since the time, and time repeats. History repeats itself. As long as we seek power, we will always be at war. Now see, when you make a statement like that, we people, you have to say the government, because the government is all about seeking the power. And we're just here. We're just here getting all the back end of the destruction of it. Okay? Because we have to stop. That's what I understand. How can we fight ourselves, shoot ourselves, do all these bad things to ourselves, our communities, but yet I don't see nothing going on that's detrimental to their communities? So you would want, I wish that every thug, I'm gonna say thug, I wish that every thug would enlist in the army and see how that works. Instead of out here killing our children and messing up our communities and everything, go enlist in the army or the Navy or whatever. Go out there and fight instead of fighting the people that don't want to fight with you. Oh, you do a 3-mile walk a day? That's what's up. 4 to 6 miles. Oh my. That's some walkers. But I'm not going to hold you guys up. I want to thank Miss Karen for coming through and talking to us. I want to thank her very much for coming through and talking to us. And I want to thank all of you guys that came. Thank you so much for showing up. I'm going to change my food picture. I'm still working on it. I don't know why it's there. I'm going to change it when I go into the wait a minute, is that her? Oh, you in the chat? Well, put a 1 in the chat. Put a one in the chat. So, you know, I want to tell you, I wanted her to tell you, you know, I want to thank her for coming through. And let me tell you guys, any one of you guys, go and look up direct energy weapons. Go and, not you, Nicole. Not you, Nicole. Okay. Let me call her back so she can say goodbye. She got her grandbabies and she came and spent some of this time with us. Let me see if I can reach her again. So she can close us out and then you guys are off to live the rest of your lives. But she had, I'm gonna see if I can post, I'm gonna post up her post that she has. Okay. Let me see. Camera on. Jeez. All right, you guys. I know I saw that. Well, I want to thank you guys very much for just hearing this out. I really appreciate you hearing it out. You guys, I'll be around. I'm always around. I want to thank my mods. Thank you guys for coming through and helping me out. I really, really appreciate you guys. Each and every one of you guys. Appreciate all of you guys that came in and joined this chat. I do these kind of chats for enlightenment, for information purposes, so that, we'll be more aware of what's going on in our areas, our neighborhood, our world. Because, I'm sorry, I don't know who's going to Mars. I don't know who's living on these spaceships above us. But I do know. Oh, hold on, that's her again. Hold on. Hello?
Hey, Kelly?
Yeah, I was just closing out. I wanted to see if you wanted to say, anything you want to say before you close out.
No, I was really trying hard to pull up that article that I did with Frankie, and so I started really looking through it, and I came across the link, but it seems like every link that was connected to that is no longer any good. So I don't know if Frankie has taken her podcast down, or if that particular link is just not up anymore. I haven't really talked to Frankie in a while, so I don't know if she still has it up. But,
I think I have a copy of it. I think I do have a copy of it. I just have to find it.
Yeah, so I will keep looking and see if I have another link, and I will shoot her an email if she's still out there. Maybe she'll hit me back and she'll let me know if it's still up.
Okay.
Because otherwise, I don't know how to.
You gotta have a copy of it. That was a really good art. It was really good.
Wow, I'm impressed that you keep up like you do. I'm like honestly, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. I didn't honestly realize you had even read that. So that's impressive.
I've been your friend on Facebook for like 9-10 years almost. Come on now. I don't. Yeah, it's been a while. I just I'll read things and I'll read them and I'll look them up or whatever. To a lot of people, that's why I don't have over 400 people. All the people on my Facebook page, but I have some kind of connection to them. I know them. I've met them. I trust them. I believe in them. So I don't have any, scallywags and stuff like that. No haters on my page that do craziness. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of influential people on my Facebook page. Authors, writers, I have a lot professional people that's doing great things for our culture on my Facebook page. And also on my YouTube page, on my YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, I kind of picked it up when we became friends or whatever, whenever we did become basically friends. I kind of picked up that you were in contact with a lot of the people that do a lot of good things in our community, very influential. I kind of picked up on that.
Because a lot of people was like, oh, why don't you don't come? A lot of people don't have YouTube. Why you don't come on Facebook? Go Facebook Live. I'm like, listen, I don't have time for that kind of drama. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience.
I'm not big on that either.
I don't have the patience for that. I just don't. Where I can't control what I say.
Don't worry about what they want. You do what's good, what you feel.
I go and I drop the link.
You follow your own heart.
I do a lot of different things. I do my couponing. I got my couponing videos. Now that you are a subscriber, you can check out some of those videos. You know, I'm cooking. You know, I do a lot of things, but I also love doing the education.
Right.
I really love educating people, and we learn together. And we have one more thing that we learned about today that I'm quite sure a lot of people just didn't know what was going on. So they're going to share this video out, and all the people, all the places are going to learn that you are one of those people that was greatly affected by D.E.W. Okay, so
that's right. I was, am.
You know, so
thank you for letting me share on your platform. I do greatly appreciate that, and I hope maybe the information I provided might be helpful to somebody.
Absolutely.
I would wish this on nobody. I would not wish this on anybody, but if it can be helpful to anybody, I'm grateful.
And I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Miss Karen, for coming on. And you know, if you want to, if you want to learn or want to do anything, again, you know, that you research on, and we can do it together and bring it out to the people. You know, we have to do. We could be many communities under one umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Many communities under one umbrella. You know, I have another lady, Sugar Love, and Sugar Babes, and Tony. You know, she embarked on a whole lot of different kinds of topics and stuff like that, you know, about how, you know, she talks about a whole lot of stuff. But a lot of stuff that interests me most that she talks about is how the way we were as Black people. And, you know, my whole thing, and it's still so trapped in my own head. It's still so trapped in my own head that I keep researching and researching. I'm like, who was here first? You know what I'm saying? And then she'll take a different approach on it as far as, you know, religion wise or whatever. But my approach is that we was kings and queens. Where did we go from there? Now, if you want to talk about slavery, okay, we're finished with the D.E.W. We're talking this general now. We're talking in general, anything in general. If we, you know, if we get off of come to slavery, when did we become scholars? What the time? What I'm saying, the time period that I'm trying to make, it does not make sense. The time period just does not make sense. Okay, so I've been watching this this show about they digging treasure, and the island that the man they digging the treasure on happens to be a Black man who was a slave who bought the island. So I'm very following that very carefully. They going on 10, 20 years digging up this man's land. I want to know whatever proceeds that they find that are of any value, will they seek out his family to give them some of the contribution, something of what they found. And we're talking about 1749. 1749. Wow. You know, they finding all kinds of stuff, and there's a big treasure chest that's under. They even made a man-made swamp. I said, shut the front door. I'm learning a lot about underwater. Underwater, they made a man-made swamp. Now you think about it. How do they have the technology in 1749 to dig and build and create a swamp? So a lot of resources, another channel, a lot of resources that I found where you could just go to a certain part and just dig, and you'll find gold and minerals and gold nuggets, all that's under the earth. So if our earth is so rich, why are we living so poorly?
Good question.
The earth is so rich. I mean, these people are digging, finding gold nuggets, finding rubies, white diamonds, and this is an area that's not even populated.
Wow, that's interesting.
Oh, Gary, y'all want to learn how to do couponing? Well, y'all got to come to the couponing classes, all right? Today's not couponing class. You guys got jokes. No couponing today. Check out the couponing videos. And my crew.
Everybody wants to know how to save some money in this day and time.
You have to. You really have to.
Yeah.
Because another thing that, I'm fighting out here in Texas is senior citizens and people that's disabled want to buy food too. They want to buy food too. So how is you going to give them $10 of food stamps where they have to, but they're going to buy with $10? With the mortgages going up, food is going up, electricity going up, water's going up. How are they going to be able to supply their food? How are they going to buy food? But yet, you give working people $400 a month in food stamps. You see, all these states are very selective. California been getting stimulus checks since the C came out. California been getting stimulus checks every month. Other states are getting money for their children, $400 a child in food stamps every month. Other states are doing that, and
for COVID.
Yeah. So we people in Texas, because we are a Commonwealth state, we get nothing.
Yeah.
So
that's tough.
But yet we don't give anything either. I think
Texas that's a rough state.
And then on top of that, they are trying to become an independent state. You see, they tells you a whole lot of stuff on TV, but behind closed doors, they're trying to become an independent state to where Mexico would be the 49th state, because Texas don't want nothing to do with no other state. I say y'all play too much. Yeah, they're doing too much.
They want to be independent. They think they're independent of everybody else.
Correct. To where, they said, well, if we have to take down our Confederate flags, then y'all got to do this. We'll take down the Confederate flags and y'all got to do this for us. It's more than a flag. You don't live in those times anymore. Matter of fact, you never lived in those times before. That's why when people
they just hold on to what it represents. That's all. It's what it represents. It's for them. It's not really the flag itself. It's just what it represents. White power, white dominance. They feel like it's it represents a time that they still want to have, really.
Yeah, and again, Gary just said California, they give them with no jobs $300 in cash and $200 in food stamps per month. And Gary, they can have kids or they don't have kids, they still going to get that. They still going to get that. I don't care about those people that have children. They deserve to get it. They deserve to get it. But here it is. You so busy worrying about Black and brown people scamming you out of your money to where you forgot all about the trailer trash. Millions. They get millions from you, and you worrying about $200 or $300. When they get in, man, listen. That's why I started couponing. I started couponing because I was in the store quite a few times and people had 3, 4, 5 carts worth of food, right? And I think it was a family of 4, okay? And I was like, damn, that's got to be over $1,000 worth of food for those 4 or 5 carts that they had. And in those carts, I saw a lot of junk food. I saw a lot of junk food in their carts. And one cart was just meat. Other ones was just, this is how they had it set up. They had one cart with just meat and cold stuff. Then the next cart had the liquids and stuff. Then the next cart had junk food and stuff. Then the next cart had like rice, and they had bags and bags of rice and stuff to go in the pantry stuff. And the lady, she gave all her coupons. Her stuff came out to like $800 something. She gave all her coupons, and she wound up paying about maybe $300. And she used, and
that's like over half of her groceries.
Right, and the $300, she paid $300 for the food part of it, and what I saw her give was $200 in cash. So she paid like whatever, she matched it off for her food stamps. So she get to go shopping again another day for a couple more days, So
wow.
Barbie said that's why the American flag is taken out of the school. You took it out for white, and now not safe. The American flag has never been. Never been right for blacks. It didn't take us out. Okay, yeah, but you gotta also understand, Barbie. They took the word God out of the school. That was an extremely bad move, because not only did you take God out of the school, why didn't you take God off the money? Why didn't you take God off the money? Because God we trust is on the money. And now that the education, see, this is something where Tony T is her special. When you're talking about from school to the prison pipeline, this is what they're teaching our children, to be laborers. They're teaching our children to be laborers. They're not teaching our children the skills, trades that they need to survive after high school, because knowing 65% of the parents can't afford college. So you graduating our children out of high school just to go to where? The corner. And the corner is going to lead them two places, either in prison or in the ground. So those are the choices that they're giving our black and brown people. Now, when I moved on to the state of Texas, I saw different in education. Nobody carry books. Everybody carry iPads. The school give you iPads. The school give you, so everything they're taking out the libraries. So everything is on Google. And you got to ask yourself, who controls Google? They do. So if your children don't go to a library to actually go and pick up a book and read it, how is that helping them?
Yeah.
So their education is very limited. And so then, like I said, I moved out here, and the schools out here were so advanced. And I was like, my son, he came with enough credits to graduate at 16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he was in high school when he left. And so I said, no, I don't want him to graduate on the next rotation. I want him to actually learn what you have to teach him, and let him do a couple of credits a day or whatever have you, to learn, because he's new here. You know what I'm saying? He'll graduate early, but you'll graduate with another state education where you can graduate in Texas with their advanced education. Don't play me. I ain't got time. You know what I'm saying? No, he ain't graduating. He want to learn. He want to learn what you want to teach him. Okay, so that's how that is how we keep our children into learning more than what just the people say.
Right.
Barbie, that same child I'm talking about, okay, both of my sons was raised in Catholic school, because I lived in a really bad area in New York, and they went to Cardinal Hayes. And my youngest one, the principal said to me, white nun, she said, your son is wasting your money and my time. And I mean, it came out the same way I needed it to come out. I said, listen, bitch, I'm not beating my son no more, and neither are you. And my son said, Mom, I don't want to go back there anymore. They don't respect me. And I said, you don't have to. She was like, he's worse than the other one. I'm like, yeah, you're right. And then when I found out what was actually wrong with my son, got the Board of Education involved. Now they wanted to give me free tuition until he graduated. No, no, thank you. No, thank you. You know, I've been through your bull crap almost 15 years already with both of my kids, you know? So, no. Yeah, so what I learned was my son had a speech impediment, and that's where he was able to get special services because, you know, they sit there, them nuns just sit there, read your book, and expect for you to know. And then they had to teach us techniques so we can actually get him to understand. We had to talk a little slower, you know. We're from New York, we talk fast. So we had to talk a little slower so they can understand. And then now this chick want to give my son free tuition until he graduate out of school. And they graduate at eighth grade. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. And then other parents, and I told other parents. So a lot of parents started pulling their children out and getting them the services that their children need. Because it was like him and like another 15, 20 more children that was having the same problem. And she said, we don't have paid time to teach them if they're not on a teachable level. I'm like, this guy getting straight A's, but yet he has issues with you. Lady, bye. So, I said, and you never will. And I left and I took him out of there and put him into another school where I didn't have to pay. I got taken to court though, but hey, it was fine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because I called her B-I-T-C-H. I mean, she man, listen. I ain't getting none. You know, but you know, she shouldn't have said what she said to me. You know what I'm saying? Every time I had to leave work to come to school because you're unable to teach my child, not actually taking time out with the child to see what was wrong with him, why he didn't understand what you were saying to him. You know, my daughter's being taught math. It's crazy, you know. Barbie, I can't even do the math they teaching these kids now, so I can't do it.
I know. It's like they learning on a whole nother level from what we did.
Yeah.
It's totally new.
I barely made it out of high school with algebra, okay?
I know. I mean,
and think about it.
Kids, they made it further in math than I ever did. They did the geometry, my son did both of them they did pre-cal. They went up to pre-cal.
Calculus.
Yeah, both of them.
Calculus,
I never got cal.
I haven't got past algebra.
Girl, I would have probably never graduated high school if I had to do pre-cal. Like, I didn't get that far. My sons both had to do pre-cal. That's as far as they went, though. They didn't go past pre-cal. But they did pre-cal and they did geometry and algebra 1 and algebra 2. Then they did geometry, and then the last math they needed one more math, and so they ended up having to do both of them had to do pre-cal. I was like, God bless your soul, because I don't know that I would have even gotten out of high school if I would have had to have done that. I don't know.
Listen, my last year of high school, I had algebra and English. I had to go to night school in 2 different night schools. And then I was so lucky I had both teachers for at night and the day. I'm like, I can't take it no more. I need a break. I need a break from both of y'all. I'm sitting in one class 4 hours, another class 4 hours. I needed a break. Then got to go home and go back to school at night. I was like, man, listen. I was like, skip that. Let me take the GED because this is too much work. I can't do it. But I did do it. They gave me a break too, so I did do it. I'm like, man, I'm in your class all day. You don't need my attendance at night. Let me go hang out with my friends and do some things. But, you know, that was then. You know, because I was in school. I was in school from Monday through Friday from 8 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. It was depressing me.
Oh, that's too long. That's like the whole day.
The whole day.
Night, half the night. That's too much. That's overkill.
Well, I don't know if Texas went back to, but I just know that the math is very more advanced now, you know, and then on top of that, they have the tablets and the computers and the Googles and all these ways to get the answers. So, you know, they don't even teach the kids.
We didn't have all that stuff back in our day. We didn't have, you know, we had computers, but we didn't have the internet and all that kind of stuff. We didn't have the apps that they have now. we didn't have any of that kind of stuff. So
do you know that most of the children in the past, I would say maybe 7 years, most of the children don't even know how to write in script. They don't know how to sign their name. I had to teach my son how to sign his name.
Yeah, they don't teach cursive anymore.
They don't teach cursive.
My kids, they stopped right around the time my kids started going to school. They said they did not need to teach children that. That was something they could either learn on their own or they taught them just how to write their names. I think that was like the one thing they just focused on their names and not necessarily.
They focused on their names because they was in elementary school. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, no spelling test, no writing test. They don't care, and everything is done digitally now. So they need a keyboard. Okay, everything's with a keyboard.
That's true. Everything just about is digital, so paper is almost obsolete. Just about. I mean, you know, for the most part, some places it's obsolete. They don't use any paper.
Yep, with the emails, they have to email everything.
Everything's digital. Yep, everything's digital. They don't use paper much. That's like old school.
Well, I'm still going to be old school because every time they want me to do something that's digital, I'm like, send me the papers. I ain't got time to do all that. Send the papers. I bring them in with me. Oh, get online. No, I'm not printing them out. No, ma'am.
I'm digital, but I still do like having, you know, the old-fashioned hard copy.
Exactly. I do old-fashioned hard copy too as well because I need to actually be able to visualize what it really is other than reading it from a computer screen.
A screen,
you know,
opposed to a screen.
A lot of people, like, I read a couple of books online and I was like, man, it's so much easier to read online. But then again, I have a page of turning. I like turning the pages, marking down the words that I don't know the meaning to, you know, so I can come back to them and learn the meaning too of these words, whatever.
Highlight it real quick.
Yeah. So today you officially was a co-host, and this live was for you. So, and we talking about a whole lot of stuff. So that, you know, that's what we do over here. You know, we get our main topics out the way, and then we talk about things going on in the world.
Right. That's cool. That's really, really cool. I think that's really nice that you have a platform to do that.
You know, you create almost anything. You create almost anything. And why not do it to help our people? You know? So my cooking classes were mainly to help these young ladies to learn how to cook so they would not spend so much money eating out, and to show them proper ways to be able to cook for their spouses instead of, you know, some women just not cooks. Some women just not cooks. And
I can do enough to get by, but I'm not. I can't say I burn like you do. I can't say that I'm. You know, I know you can get in there and burn, but I can't say that I'm one of those. But I'm not saying I'm the worst cook either. But
and you know how I became a chef? I became a chef because I was raising 7 men. I was the only woman in the house of 7 men. The husband, the kids, and all of the children. Well, I have no girls. So, you know, I remember the day when I used to get, I think it's like over 30 years ago, I used to get $120 in food stamps. And let me tell you, that fed my whole family. I bought a case of chicken, a whole case before they start to clean it, a whole case, clean it myself, and bags and bags of rice, bags and bags of potatoes, macaroni and cheese, and I made wonders out of that food. Every night it was a different meal. Okay, there was never no leftovers. Every night a different meal, made it look brand new. I have learned so many ways to cook chicken to where I'm like, I'm gonna fly away. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you
That's
know, the men
cool,
can
though.
cook, you know, but see, the men cooking, and that's so odd to me as well. You said that the men cook. My favorite cook chef is Gordon Ramsay, right? And you think about it, there's more men chefs than there are women. Why
There
and
is.
how is that? You know?
That's weird. I don't know that women just don't typically go to school for cooking. They just do it at home. This is like a natural, we just grow up. A lot of, women just grow up picking up cooking just through, growing up. And then
No,
men,
Barbie.
they actually go to chef school. They go to cooking school.
Cooking school, right. And my cooking school was in my house.
Yeah. We just learn at home, where
Right.
men, they actually go to school and learn.
Barbie, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong because you hate cooking and you're an 80s baby. I guess I'm a 60s baby, and my mom had to work. Just me and my siblings. My mom had to work, and I was the oldest, so I did the cooking. And then as I got older and got my own family, I did all the cooking. If any special meals were made, it was made because it was bought by that person, my spouse, that made them, like the seafood and stuff. I've been eating seafood all my life. I didn't just start eating seafood when I got on YouTube. I've been eating seafood all my life. My children been eating seafood since they got teeth in their mouth. Okay. So I was on welfare for 1 year until I started working my city job. And, I needed that at the time, and I used it for what I needed to use it for, to get my foot out the door of being a welfare recipient and onto the world. And I didn't learn what I needed to learn in school to prepare me for the world. So I had to go to skilled trades classes and stuff to move up. To move up the ladder of my corporate that I was in, that I did. So, people say the projects, I lived in multiple projects, and they prepared me by living in all those different projects that I lived in the bad areas or whatever, to prepare me to move up and move out. Move up and move out and on to other things. She said, my great granny was an old North Carolina, and my grandma worked, so I never had that experience. My grandma did cook. My mother was not a cook, but when my mother did cook, she made a big pot of goulash. The whole entire neighborhood wanted to eat it, so we never had leftovers on that. All my friends would come over and want to eat that. Okay, and it was good. I still can't make it. I tried to make it. I just can't make it. But my mom didn't cook much. My mom's job was to keep a roof over our head. She was an RN, and her job was to keep a roof over our head. And our job was to keep her house clean, get our education, and stay off the pole. Stay off the street, stay off the pole. Yeah. So when I hear people talking bad about their moms, you only get one mom. You either make it work. She ain't gonna always be right, but she's always gonna be your mom. So it'll be no disrespect to your mom.
That's for sure. You don't get but one.
You only get but one. Well, Barbie, it's not bad that you don't want to cook. I mean, you don't want to cook, you don't want to cook. I mean, you want to spend your money on eating out and letting these diseases that's out there from us eating out. Don't get me wrong. I like to eat out too. But when I eat out for a reason. I never go to the same place twice. I go to, unless I'm going to join, I go for what they have on the menu. Because if I can recreate what I'm tasting at home, I don't need to go to the restaurant. Did that make sense?
Yeah, I like home cooked food, but of course, we all like to treat ourselves every now and then.
Right.
People do get get burnt out from cooking if they do a lot of cooking, but I mean, I like home cooked food. I prefer, that over, going out because, it's just nothing like home.
Yeah, you guys, my computer reset itself. Cut off, reset. I'll be paying. I don't pay attention to the You can't hear me? Sure, you can't hear me. Can you hear me now? No, that's you because you're on the phone. Can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah, on the computer.
Can you hear me now? So he says he's trying to cook grilled cheese. Smoke alarm always go off. Well, for the smoke alarm to go off, you have to burn something. So come on now.
The butter might have been burning.
Like today, that's why I was late for our meeting. I was in another live, and I've been having really bad insomnia. So I was listening to the live and I just lay down and I fell asleep. So, and then I said, "Oh, let me get up." I thought I set my alarm to wake me up at 7:30, but it didn't. I was sleeping.
Well, it worked quite good for me because the time I was busy doing some things, and when I looked up, it was like 8 o'clock. It was approaching 8, and I said, "There's no way that I'm gonna call in by 8:30." I said, I'm hoping 9 at the earliest, and then. So I went to check to see if you were on, and then I didn't see you on. I said, let me go to her YouTube. I said, because maybe her YouTube, she's on her YouTube. And so I went to your YouTube channel, and I was like, Kelly ain't even on her YouTube channel. I said, the first thing I thought was maybe you were asleep. I said, maybe she's asleep.
Yeah, Barbie, yeah, I'm sorry about that, Barbie. I have yet to learn how to take that picture that comes on my every video. It should be a different food picture. The last picture was a seafood buffet that I made. I don't know how to take those pictures off. I'm still learning. Once I get this down pat, I'll be more efficient. I'm gonna try to come on. I can't promise to come on every day because my body won't allow it, and I have other things to do besides be online 24 hours a day. I try to, when I do come on, I try to give you something that's going to feed your mind. Something that you can to research and just learn from. I watch a lot of movies and I get a lot of strikes. I probably get a strike for this as well, but hey, I have to get it out there because I want you guys to know what's going on. So, I'm just grateful that Miss Karen put some time aside to help us out with this, and it was good. I don't know, all my phones do. Yeah. I'm glad Miss Karen was able to help us out so we can have a better understanding of what it is. Yeah, that food plate that you happen to see, I recreated that. I went to a restaurant and I recreated it. I do enjoy cooking. And sometimes, for my close friends, I will go to their house and cook certain meals for them. Miss Karen, they telling you thank you for your information in the chat.
thank you for listening. Thank you so much.
You know, and so you know, these things that we go through, we go through a lot. And I just want us to have a little more unity with each other, you know? There's a little more unity. I'm not talking about dragging and beating nobody up and who's sleeping with who and, you know, all the celebrity nonsense. Because at the end of the day, those people are just like us. We bleed, and they're human, okay? I appreciate you, Miss Barbie. We bleed, and we are still human. You will not see any drama activity on this page because I've been there, done that. You know, I had a couple of issues with a couple of people, and I had to let that go because it got to the point to where we was trying to be up face to face. I had to let that go. You know, so it wasn't worth it to me because I was looking for them. It wasn't worth it to me because I was looking for them. And then when I found where they was at, I was like, "Now I'm really looking for you." And I had to calm myself down. You know, because is it worth it?
Wow.
Is it worth it? It's not worth it. You know, either you gonna do me, I'm gonna do you. That's the way. And I told the person, I said, look, the two things are gonna happen. Either we're gonna go and have a good lunch together, or we both going to jail. Pick your poison. Okay? Because that's what's gonna happen. You know, so we decided to go our separate ways and keep it simple. I can see her in the chat, she can see me in the chat, and keep it moving. You know, so that worked out great, and that's how you have peace. And I have people all up there doing all kind of crazy things to you because sometimes it don't turn out good at all. It don't turn out good. So I use my platform to try to teach people things, different things that I feel that is important to me. And I want to tell you guys, I thank you guys for joining and sticking with me because it's something more to life than numbers, okay? The numbers. And she said, thank you, Ms. Rod, but I do need some food to help me gain weight. Well, girl, I got plenty of food. I see that YouTube, without my permission, is putting my food videos in their shorts. Okay, so.
Oh no.
And it's okay because that's when I first started out making short videos, cooking the food, and during Miss Sugar Love Live, I done made me a whole thing of steak and potatoes. I done ate that while I was watching it live. I was like, I almost dropped my plate of food with some drama was going on. I was like, Lord. I don't really know. I just know how to buy food and how to cook it. Hey, Rico. Now, this guy, Rico here. Now, Rico, he eats bizarre food. And his channel is about bizarre food. And Rico, I ain't going to tell you no lie. I be over there. I don't say nothing in your chat because I don't feel like typing and saying hi to nobody. But I'm there supporting you. Some of the stuff you eat and I can't stomach. My stomach is not made for it. I just can't. But, you know, you still here, and I want you to knock yourself out, Rico. I want you to knock yourself out. Rico be eating all kinds of stuff. Chalk and, oh, man. I still got that picture of you eating chalk and that white stuff in your mouth. I was like, But thank you for coming by, fam. I love you. You know I love you, Rico. I love everybody in my chat. See, that's one thing about my chat. We all get along. And when we ever have a problem with each other, we can talk it out. You know, we can disagree. We can disagree to agree, and we can talk it out. And that's what's awesome. I have quite a few Caucasian people and other people in my chat. And, you know, some of my co-hosts was, I would say redneck white, but we got together for love of our music, for love of music. You know what I'm saying? Music is a universal language. Music is a universal language. If there was one thing I had to give up, music would not be one. Okay? Yeah. Music would not be one. Oh, I had goat bison before. I had deer, yeah. What you said, ma'am?
I guess you know we lost Lisa Presley today.
Yes,
Or was it
Thursday.
yesterday?
Thursday, yeah. And I felt sad for her too. This week was very trying for me because I lost like 4 friends in 1 week. And I consider Lisa Presley a friend as well. You know, 2 of my friends lost their dads, and another one lost their uncle. I was like, this year is starting out horrible. A couple of weeks ago, I lost one of my brothers. I was like, you know, there's been so much, you know. Yeah, I posted it on Facebook, but
I don't if I came across that. I don't think I did.
And he was 50 years old. All these people, you know, besides the 2 daddies, these people are 50. See, that's another topic that I would want to talk about, is that, you know, yes, we are getting older. We are born to die, but it's how you die. You don't want to die from somebody killing you or hurting you. You want to die of old age. You want to die of being surrounded by your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? You wanna go in a way that you're free. You know what I'm saying? You know, a couple of these people.
It would be ideal. Not everybody will, so unfortunately.
Oh, we got Sugar Love in the chat. Thank you for coming by, Sugar Love. We were just talking about over there by you, and it's that I don't know much about the calorie counting, Barbie. I don't know. Protein shakes. I would tell you, get you some prednisone and you'll eat everything under the sun. Okay? And it'll help improve your lung function. Because I was on those steroids and I gained like a lot of weight. And I was like almost 300 pounds, and I got it off, but I got some more I got to go. I haven't seen 200 since high school, okay? So I'm feeling a little better, and I'm getting it down more, so it works for me. I'm trying to get to 180 for my birthday. Yeah. So I would have to eat before I go to Sugar Love page, okay? I have to eat first, then go to her page, because her page make you want to eat. We got Nicole watching, hearing everybody eating and chewing, and they tell, oh, she's eating. She's chewing. Yeah, they say it comes in 3s. Yeah, I know. You know, so that's what I heard. I can't take the medicine to change my attitude, and I don't like that. Well, you know, now we're having a medical discussion. Nicole, she likes keeping everybody in the closet. Well, with the medicine, you know, I have high blood pressure. Don't ask me why. You know, that's why I wanted to talk to Sugar Love on a panel, because I used, and it took me a long time to try to stop feeling that. I feel people's pain. Have any of y'all ever experienced that? Have anybody in the chat ever experienced that? I actually feel people's pain. You know, like I feel the sadness for my friends. I feel the sadness from my family when someone passes. It just takes a hold of me. Like when I hear sad things, it just takes a hold of me. It consumes me. And I had to stop. I had to learn to try to tone that out a lot. And that's another reason why I don't sleep much. That's another reason why I don't cut my phone off. You know, it's like, I don't want to be the first to know anything. But at the same time, I want to be there when I can, in whatever capacity that I can be, you know. You know, so I see you laughing. I already see you put up that laughing because you don't want nobody to eat nothing. She said, but we don't have a choice, but I don't eat that apple, so why I have to suffer to even eating that apple? What apple? You know. So, you know, it's like I said, you know, I would tell you, whatever kind of diet you on, you know, look it up. See what gives you more calories for your diet. See what gives you more calories. You know. Like I didn't have junk food for like about a month. Man, listen. As soon as I got out the house, I went straight to go couponing because I was not buying my junk food without my coupons. Went straight to couponing and got my Cheetos and my Lay's and some ice cream. Okay. Tomorrow's couponing day though. I be trying to want to take y'all with me on a journey to couponing while I'm out in the street, but my phone batteries, I've been cleaning out my phones and stuff. It's just a long mission. So it's better to just go shopping and come home and then show you. You know. Just go shopping, come home and show you. As you can see, I have quite a few lovely dishes on my plate that I've made. But yeah, I always like consume people pain, and you know, I even went to a psychiatrist about it. So he was like, "It's your heart. You have a big heart, you know." And then I have to let it go. That's another reason why I don't stay mad at anybody for long. You know, I don't stay mad at anybody. I don't care what you do. I don't stay mad at anybody for long. I get mad. I express myself. I let it go. You know. Because there's too much energy. It's too much energy being mad at somebody. Oh, we suffer for Eve eating that apple as part of the punishment. Okay. Do we suffer because Eve ate the apple? I think so. More so, we suffer because Adam didn't obey. But I ain't the one to preach about the Bible. I'm not that one. I'm not that one.
I don't want to be an expert in that department, so I'm going to stay out of the religious talk tonight.
Yeah, because
my beliefs, obviously, I post on Facebook about God, so I'm definitely not a atheist, but I'm not going to get into. I'm personally, I don't mind if you all do, but I'm not getting into the religious talk.
Yeah, because that's something when it comes down to religion. I had an older lady tell me, she says 3 things you don't want to be bothered with. You don't want to be bothered with religion. You don't want to be bothered with what she said, religion. She said it was 3 things. Well, I know religion was at the top of it. I can't remember the rest. Nicole, I ain't playing with you. Talk about them Aries don't get mad long. Oh, we get mad a long time. I could hold a grudge forever, but you won't know about it. You won't know about it because I had to let it go sooner or later. But I believe. See, this is where I was talking to you guys about how does it work? How does this work? Because if you want to believe in the Bible, then you have to believe in flat earth. Okay, and a lot of you believe in flat earth. So therefore, are you calling some of the things that's written in the Bible a lie? Okay. Yes, that's another word, politics. It was religion and politics. There's one more. There's one more. You guys keep talking. I'm gonna figure it out. Politics is one of them. Yeah. Politics is one of them. I have plenty of fights over politics and religion. Plenty. And there's one more. There's one more. So you guys keep thinking it up. There's another one. It might be the alphabet, the rainbow collection. But anywho, the alphabet city. I don't know. But so if you don't believe in flat earth, then you don't believe in the Bible. Because in the Bible it says the earth will never move, nothing will come into or leave the earth. So if that is what the Bible says, then that's what the scripture says. Then how can you believe the earth is round and that we can go to the moon and we can go to the stars and we can do all this stuff? Outer space. So like I said, there's nobody from that time that can tell us the truth. Okay. Just like, I talk to a lot of older people, And I mean old, I mean like my mother's grandmothers and stuff like that, the grandmothers, older people. And they somewhat, my grandmother, she used to tell me about how she used to pick cotton. And I would say, you pick cotton? She said, yeah, I pick cotton. My mother picked cotton. She's like, your mother didn't. I said, no, right? She's like, they pick cotton, and you see the pictures of them of your parents, and they was all snazzied out, the husband and the wife together, building a family, working together, trying to keep no, that's not wealth. Trying to keep positivity going on within their families to keep their families together. And then you have some jack off that says slavery was a choice. I don't think it was a choice for nobody. Okay. I'm quite sure the first African man that got off the boat said SMD. Okay. So, but see, what they didn't know when they got off the boat, they didn't have enough bullets to take them all down. Okay. They didn't have enough weapons to take them all down. And if they would have just fought, they would just fight. If their own skin color didn't turn them over, they would just fight. It would be a different world today. You know, I'm sick and tired of people calling the Mid-East. That's Africa. Okay, so it's just a whole lot with that. You know, they want to say, oh, Mid-East, peace in the Middle East. That's Africa. Egypt is Africa. So they can go by Romans and any who's all they want. No, not true. She said it was religion, politics, and maybe pay your taxes. That was something else. Yeah, but you know, a lot of people have different types of religions. And do you want to believe that somebody lived inside of a well? Do you want to believe that? Okay. You know, I really think a lot of people that wrote the Bibles, certain books in the Bibles, they was schizophrenic issues going on, and they was depressed, and they was bipolar, and they did a lot of walking, and so I don't know. I really truly don't know what they was thinking. And then some of the stories are for comfort, you know, like the Psalms. Some of the stories are for comfort. I take it at word value, because whoever you believe in, whether you believe in the Creator, whether you believe in Allah, you believe in all the different names, Jehovah, all the different names, you believe what you believe. Because, like I always tell people, my faith is in my heart. God is in my heart. So I don't have to go to church and let no pastor that's going to be touching on somebody's children tell me what's in the Bible when I can read. I can read, y'all. So that's how that works.
I feel you.
So maybe one day next week, or when I decide to do it, we'll have some spiritual talk. You know, because I'm trying to get Sugar Love to talk about something. She can't seem to find herself time to do it. She got so many things. She got so many things going on. Because I'm, like I said, for the next week, I'm trying to figure out what came first. Were we kings and queens? Were we slaves? Were we scholars? Because even when you look back on all the things that Black people have created, that we still use to today, but we didn't get the credit for the patents on it, and the white people took the patents and, you know, bedazzled it. You funny, Nicole. You know, and so I'm like, where did it start? So if you believe that God only created one set of Adam and Eve, you're wrong. Because if that was the case, then Cain or Abel slept with their mother, because in the Bible it said Cain and Abel took his wife and family and they walked away. Well, who got slain? Cain or Abel got slain? Which one of them got killed? Undead.
Cain was the murderer.
All right, so Cain slain his brother. So when that happened, they cast him and his family out. Who was his family? This is why I can't go, because I asked the preacher these things. I asked the preacher, you can't give me the answer. What family did he have? It was him, his mother, and his brother. He killed one of four. Here's another riddle. If you kill one of four, who is you leaving with? Who you leaving with? Who you had kids by? Did you have kids by your mother?
Yeah, I think that, like I said, I don't like to get into too much drawn out conversation about religion, but I think, in my personal opinion, I just think that there's some things that have been taken out, put in, and you just have to kind of do your own research and your own discernment, and just get out there and dig into things, for yourself. And I just think it's just a journey you have to go on. I mean, of course, you can go on it with other people if you want to, but I think it's just a personal journey of finding the truth that you feel like
you're comfortable with.
Maybe you've been deprived of, or you have, questions that you want answered that you just don't feel like you've gotten answered. Just, I think it's a personal journey. That's just me.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Because that's, this is where the people that control the Bible, the Bible have been lost in translation. A lot of and the books that's not in the Bible, that's in the Vatican, they have been stolen, they have been leaked, they're being translated. So we'll get to those things when they come available to the public. She said, like I asked, if something came from nothing, how did God get here? And then are some things we can't answer even past. Right, because I asked the pastor. I mean, I was so inquisitive growing up because my mother, she made us go to church. I was inquisitive. So I said, if God created Adam and Eve, right? So is Jesus Adam's brother? Man, I got put out the church again. So I was like, let me take my candy money, my church candy money, and go buy me some candy because I won't be here long. So that's one of the questions. God created Adam and Eve. Is Jesus Adam's brother? He said he's the son of God, and Jesus came out of the dirt. So does Adam have a belly button? Because the only way you can get a belly button now, y'all listen to me. The only way you can get a belly button if you're born from a woman. From a woman. So so Jesus had a belly button. We all know who his father is, right? But he got a belly button. Jeez. So, a lot of people said that she was vape. So, it's when you dig down into the Bible and you say, you got to believe what you got to believe, So, I studied different Bibles. I studied the Quran. I studied the Jehovah's Witness Bible, St. James Version, And, they all want to claim to be the Messiah. They all want to claim to be Jesus. They all want to claim to be Jehovah. So if we all have a claim that there is a higher power, call him the creator. The creator is called by many names. There is a creator that created heaven and earth. Good night, Rika. There's the people that created heaven and earth. So do the animals have their own creator? Girl, I ain't gonna get we done with the Bible talk. Did you hear about all the different animals, the different species of animals that's coming out? Oh man. She said, child, I don't know what's what. Man, they are making so Yo, they are crossbreeding. You know, we talk about Antarctica a lot too. In Antarctica, they have found several species of fish inside of the ice. I was like, wow. But, well, we're going to talk about that another day, you guys. Anybody have anything else to say? We're going to call it a wrap. We're going to say goodnight again. We want to thank Miss Karen for being a co-host and sharing her story with us, you guys. So she can go on and finish her grandchildren. It's late for her right now, too. Thank you so much, Karen. Appreciate you.
Oh, you are welcome, Kelly. I appreciate the opportunity. And thank you, everybody who listened in.
They said, "Oh, say good night, good night, good night, good night." Thank you. All right, Karen. We'll talk again on Facebook sometime soon. Okay, hon?
Okay, darling. Y'all have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys for being here with her. We got 10 more minutes. Anything y'all want to talk about for 10 minutes? Because we about to call it a night and we're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, I was like, man, they digging. Hell no, dinosaurs. Let me tell you, come to find out, dinosaurs. I tell you, I'll be watching them shows. I'll be watching the history channels. There's so much lies and deception that going on. I don't know what to call it either. Don't know what to call it either. But I'm going to tell you guys, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for hanging out with me this long. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, so much. I will see you guys sometime this week with another good video, okay, for you guys. Because this is so much. There's really so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about. And I'm going to get my computer stuff together. I'm going to get it together, y'all. I'm going to get it together. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. Peace.